Why sobriety isn't just not drinking and how to recover without labels. If you assume that simply emptying your glass for the last time solves every problem in your life, you're missing the bigger picture. Because sobriety isn't just not drinking, that's a common misconception. When you think that putting the cork in the bottle is the finish line. I used to think that way too. I thought that alcohol itself was the villain in my story. But after 45 years of drinking and now over a year completely alcohol free, I've come to realise that the physical act of quitting is actually the fucking easy part. The real work begins when the fog clears and you're left standing there with nothing but your own thoughts and a lot of fucking spare time. When I say sobriety isn't just not drinking, I mean that removing the substance doesn't automatically fix the internal machinery that led you to drink in the first place. For 4.5 decades, alcohol was my default setting. It was there for celebrations, commiserations, the holidays, and the quiet Tuesdays when I just wanted to switch off. It was woven into the fabric of my identity, and when you rip that thread out after 45 years, you expect things to unravel. The first month or so is largely physical. Your body is detoxing, you're likely sleeping better, your skin looks less grey, and you might feel quietly pleased with yourself, and rightly fucking so. But once that initial pink cloud evaporates, you're left with the reality. This is where many people stumble, because they haven't prepared for the mental shift that takes place. They treated sobriety like a diet, something you do to lose weight or get healthy, rather than a fundamental restructuring of how you process the world. I took a different path than most. I didn't go to meetings, steps, sponsors, all that bollocks. And perhaps more controversially, I didn't use labels. I don't call myself an alcoholic. I simply say, I'm Ian and I don't drink. For me, the labels felt limiting. They felt like I was diagnosing myself with a permanent illness rather than making a positive fucking lifestyle choice. This approach requires a massive amount of self-awareness because you don't have a room full of people holding you accountable. You have to be accountable to the person in the mirror. And this brings us back to the core point. If you are not drinking, but you still feel miserable, anxious, and you're fucking white-knuckling your way through social events, are you really sober or are you just dry? That is the term they use for it, often called being a dry drunk. It means you have the same behaviours and emotion volatility you had when you were drinking, just without the anaesthetic. Real sobriety is emotional maturity. It's learning how to sit with discomfort without reaching for a quick fix. For 45 years, if I felt stressed, I had a drink, angry, drink, bored, drink. It stunted my emotional growth because I never fucking learned to sit with those feelings. I just drowned them. Now over a year in, I have to actually process emotions. If I've had a shitty day, I gotta sit with it. I have to analyse why I'm upset and find a fucking constructive solution. This is infinitely harder than just fucking reaching for a pint, but it's also infinitely more rewarding. You also have to confront the wasted time. Looking back at 45 years of drinking can be fucking heavy. There's the temptation to dwell on regret, the money you spent, the arguments you caused, the mornings you wasted in a fucking hangover. But part of this journey, especially when you're doing it without a sponsor telling you what the fuck to do, is finding your own path. You have to accept that you did the best you could with the tools you had at the time. Now you've got better tools. We also need to talk about the social aspect. In the UK especially, the pub is the centre of the fucking community. When you stop drinking, people assume you're judging them or that you're no fucking fun. Sobriety isn't just not drinking, it's redefining your idea of fun. I had to learn that I can enjoy a conversation more when I can remember it the next day. I had to learn that a holiday is actually more relaxing when I'm not planning my day around the next drink. The absence of alcohol creates a vacuum. If you don't fill that vacuum with something positive, you'll fill up with resentment. You have to build a life that you don't want to escape from. And that's the secret. When I was drinking, I was constantly trying to escape my reality. Now, I'm curating and creating a reality that I'm enjoying living in. This might mean taking up new hobbies, exercising, or simply reading a book with a clear head. If you're considering this path, or if you're already on it, but finding it tough, remember, the goal is not deprivation. The goal is liberation. You're not giving something up, you're getting something back. Your time, your clarity, your health. So don't just focus on the number of days you've been dry. Focus on the person you are becoming in those days. Are you kinder? Are you more patient? Are you more honest with yourself? This is the real metric of success. Sobriety isn't not just drinking, it's finally waking up to own your life. In this transition from surviving to thriving, after 45 years in the haze, I can tell you the clarity on the other side is worth every single second of the struggle. Keep going, trust your own strength. Define this journey on your own terms. You don't need a fucking label to know that your life is better without the poison. You just need to keep moving forward, one clear-headed day at a time. Like, subscribe, come back for more.